What up? What up? Single as a Pringle. All right, I like that name. Good job. Danny Flores. Game noob. Hell yeah. Just made my week. I'm going to bartending school on Monday because I don't feel confident yet in my knowledge. It's all right, single. Don't worry about it. We all are a little scared. Shake in the house, everybody. So I didn't get a hold of Shake last week, or you guys. I didn't. So I graduated from school. I'm done. Graduated last Saturday, and I took off down to Mexico last week to go chase a swell. And I was gone from like Monday to Wednesday night. So right in the middle of when this live stream was supposed to be happening, I was camping way out in the middle of nowhere down in Baja, and it just by myself. Well, there was a couple other people that were there, but I charged down myself, and it was awesome. So anyway, sorry I wasn't here last week because of that, but I'm here. I'm back, and I have no more excuses to not pump out some good shit for you guys. Because I'm done with school. I'm done. 15 years that almost took me to finish that degree. Can you believe that shit? Because I stopped for like 10 years in the middle of it, but still. Thank you. Thank you very much. All right. Yeah, single. Single is a Pringle. I'm just going to call you single. Or should I call you Pringle? I'm going to call you Pringle. Pringle, if you got any specific questions that you're worried about, then throw them out, girl. Because that's what we do here on these live editions of making you a bartending pro. My name is Jason, and we just post up. We do a live Q&A. I know a lot of you guys have been here before, but if not, Tara Russell, what's up? Tara Russell wants to know, how do you actually purchase enough liquor for a party? Cassie Doll, what's up? Gaming noob. You got a job, man. Right on. Good job. We'll get back to you we'll get down to you in a sec here. Terrell, I need to give you more details. I mean, how do you purchase enough liquor for a party? Depends how many people you got coming on over. And if you have a shitload of people coming, then you either buy a keg or you tell them to BYOB or BYOD, bring your own drinks. Or you charge at the door to recoup your cost for buying booze for 100 people or 50 people or however many people are coming over to your party. But you kind of just got to do a calculation, X amount of people times X amount of drinks, and voila. Single out shots from a regular 1 liter bottle, you usually get 20. So that's probably, 15 drinks or so, 10 drinks. At least, so you can kind of do the math from a per party basis. But honestly, the easiest way to do it, unless you're talking about doing private parties as a job where you got to figure that out. Anytime I'm throwing a party or have thrown a party, I'd tell people to bring their own. Now, if you're trying to set up a bar in your own place and play bartender, then just get whatever you want, and then you can sell or make or do whatever you want with that stuff. So, cool. So, Gaming Noob got a bar job. Last week, had an interview, started as a bar back with the manager knowing you want to be a bartender. Congrats, buddy. So question for me, with all the bartending videos, what's the quickest, most important advice for a bar back? Get to know your bar. Get to know where everything is. Understand where it's supposed to go. Know what it's supposed to look like when it's full or stocked. And understand what it looks like when it's running low or empty. And that means everything. Booze, glasses, silverware, menus, whatever you need, or the bartenders need to do every aspect of their job. It's your job to anticipate the needs that they would need. So if you're running low on beer of some sort, then you need to make sure it's stocked. If you're running low on ice, you need to make sure it's stocked. If you're running low on whatever, right? The whole point of a bar back is to make it so that a bartender doesn't have to do anything other than do their damn job as fast as possible and make a shitload of money selling stuff, right? So yeah, man, you just got to get to know your bar, get to know what it's supposed to be like, and then just it's something that'll come with once you get it. Once you do, you're gonna have to. It's just one of those things that you're gonna have to work a few times to figure out the flow of. You'll start to figure out like you're running out of this more than anything else, or this stuff. You know, you need to constantly replenish this type of wine or beer or ice or whatever. You know, and you'll get the flow of it, and then you just basically want to be able to get to the point where your bartenders don't have to ask you for anything other than like, yo, you know, throw me a bottle of Jack or whatever it is, you know, or give me a bottle, so anticipating their needs and fulfilling them before they have to ask you is what you need to concentrate on. Sweet. All right, so Cassie doll, I started bartending a few days ago and have zero experience, and I messed up one customer's drink. It's kind of making me nervous for the next shift. Any advice? Don't worry about it, Cassie. Just brush it off and fess up. Just tell them like, hey, I'm a rookie bartender. Sorry, kind of screwed that up. Just getting started. I'm brand new. If they go there a lot, they'll obviously know that you're the new person, and just be cool with it. Know that it's not a big deal. Apologize if they're not into it and remake it, and know that it's not a big deal. It happens. We all screw them up every once in a while. It just is part of the territory. But I'd say for you, the best thing is to just kind of have a humble position of like, hey, I'm the new person, still figuring this out. You know, because then they'll give you like, oh, isn't that cute? She's just learning and stuff like that. So it's all good. All good. Don't worry about it. Don't even trip. Singo's Pringle wants to know, is flare tending a good skill to earn more tips? No. Most bars will not allow you to do it, actually, because there's glass flying around and it's a huge liability. I've been a bartender for 15 years or whatever, over 15 years, which when I started from, around 98 until now is almost 20 years, but I had some breaks in there. So like cumulative behind a bar time, about 15 years. Never done flare other than like I can spin a glass in my hand just because it's fast to, pour a beer. But like juggling bottles and shit is just like, I think maybe Chili's or one of those chains, they like flare bartending because their bar is kind of slow. That's the other thing is like if you're busy, you don't even have time to do that shit because it's slow. Flare is really slow. It looks cool, but it's slow. So I wouldn't worry about it unless you have a lot of time and you really want to just learn flare because you want to learn flare. Me personally, I never got into it. It's more like a hobby. It's something that flare will be something that you'll do as a hobby, which you can be a bartender or you cannot. Now, I've heard a lot of people make the case that like flare is good because you get good with catching bottles and shit and, whatever. That's cool, which I'm sure would help with your just kind of holding them if you drop shit and catch it. But I don't know. I don't think it's going to make that much of a difference. And you're going to have to prepare yourself to spend endless hours in your garage or your living room just practicing. Me personally, I have other shit I would rather go do. So don't worry about it. All right. So Charlie Brownson, what's up? How's it going? Subscribed to your channel a couple weeks ago. Right on. Welcome to the show, sir. Glad you can make it. Cassie doll. I can't talk tonight. I told her it was my second day And she was really nice about it, thankfully. Yeah, there you go. See, you got it. Just started following you a couple weeks ago. Extremely helpful. Right on. Make sure you get into the Charlie too, both of you, Charlie and Cassie. Make sure you check out the playlists because I've kind of put all these. I got like 250 or whatever videos now. A bunch of the playlists I block stuff together. So like bartending 101, drink recipes, the working bartender type stuff, the things that are kind of grouped together that will help you. Go check out those playlists. So if you go to the main channel page and videos and playlists, look at the playlists. So that'll help. Noelle Smith, what's up, my dear? Good to see you. And Alicio Ruiz, hello. And again, if I butcher your guys' names, I apologize. Just the stupid pinchy white boy loves to butcher names. Sweet. Cowan and Gio. See, that's a great one that I'm just gonna totally butcher. I've been binge watching your videos, and I just wanted to say thank you so much for your advice. When I became a bartender, it's going to be all thanks to you. It won't be all thanks to me because you still have to go out there and do it. So it's one thing to know what to do. It's another thing to actually go out and do it. So you can have all the knowledge in the world if you never use it. If you never use it, it's completely worthless. So it will be thanks to you that you take this knowledge and go out there and use it. So cheers to you, my man. Argyle Clacker. I'm 18. Is there anything I should know starting early? Yes, unless you're in like Texas or I think one other state, you're gonna have to wait a few years. And I don't want to discourage you, but that's just the legality of it all. So I don't know, maybe depending on where you're at, you might be able to. Yes, Noelle, I graduated. Done, girl. Done. Free of those school shackles. But yes, Argyle, go do other. Don't worry about doing this shit. Unless you're in a state where you can bartend under 21, then forget about all this shit. Go be young and foolish for a few years. And go have fun. Because there's not really anything you can do that's going to really prepare you drastically other than coming back a few months before you turn 21 to watch a bunch of these videos and get ready, right? So I know that's kind of like meh, meh, but just saying that because Arizona is 18 now. Oh yeah, so it depends. You can either move to Texas or Arizona or wherever. But if you are in a state where you're allowed to do that, then just watch a bunch of my playlists, like I was saying. Getting the Job playlist, that'll get you going. The main thing that you need to know starting, Argyle, and this is for anybody starting out, the main thing you need to remember, this job is not about the drink recipes. I'll say that again. This job as a bartender is not about knowing a bunch of drink recipes. The main part of our job as bartenders is customer service. So really, honestly, the best thing you could do to get ready for this job is to go join like a Toastmasters, or if there's any of those in your area. Toastmasters is a public speaking group. So you get together and you take turns standing up in front of a big group and you talk about whatever the hell. I don't know. I haven't gone to them, but that is something that would help you or anybody who's just starting out, because those nerves that you feel, you think it's because you don't know the drink recipes. But really, those nerves that you all feel when you're starting out has nothing to do with the drink recipes. That's just the external manifestation from your mind. What it really is that you're nervous being in front of people because it feels like you're in a public speaking. It's almost like public speaking. So it's the same reason that in my school that I just finished, God, the same reason why I was really good at all the all the presentations and shit that we did in my school, and we did a fuckload of them, which is good. But like for me, it was really simple. And most of my classmates would trip out and get super nervous and hated them. And I loved that. Anytime I could take like presentation in exchange of doing other work, I did that all day long because that's so easy for me to just stand up and start talking to people, and it's because of this job. So for all of you that kind of feel nervous, don't worry about the damn drinks, right? Where's that list? Let me pull up the list that I have of the most common drinks. There's like 15 of them. And then after those, work on your public speaking, and that will directly relate more than anything else. Whoops, that's the wrong one. That's my big list of all the videos that I need to shoot. Now that, there it is, most common drink list. Okay, so I'm gonna copy this. I'm gonna put this in here for you guys. So there you go. That's the list of like major drinks. And outside of that, don't worry about a whole lot, because you only need to know enough drinks to get a job at some place. And then depending on where you work, the drinks that you make are going to fall into this real narrow kind of a funnel where you're going to make a certain style of drink all the time. So if you spend years and years and years memorizing hundreds of drinks, you'll never use 95% of them. So get to know those basic ones, and then you can kind of, if you're targeting a specific place that you're going after, you can kind of do some research about like their menu or the types of drinks that they serve. But the thing is once you get hired somewhere, they're going to give you the menu. They're going to tell you what the drinks are, and they're going to give you time to go memorize and practice, and so you'll have time to get those dialed. So don't waste a bunch of time memorizing a bunch of drinks. Work on your public speaking skills. The other thing to realize is that this is a business, first and foremost. And the whole reason that our point of our job is customer service is to bring customers back. Not about drink recipes again, customer service. Because if we can create unique experiences, then people will want to come back. It's our whole job, is to be able to create fun and unique experiences so that people want to come back to our bar. And we make friends with them. We get to know their name. We try to get to know their drink. We try to get to know as much as we can. We try to dig as much information out of them, because the more that they feel like we know them, and if you can remember this stuff, obviously the better. The more that they feel like they really know us or the more that the customer feels like we really know them as a person, then the more likely they will be to return over and over and over and over. And then if you can do that, then you will become extremely valuable to your establishment, because that means you are creating business yourself. Not only are you holding it and facilitating it, you are creating business for the bar or the establishment that you work for. And if you can do that, then you will become indispensable, irreplaceable, and you'll be able to basically write your own way in the establishment that you're at. So there's many subtleties to a lot of that, but again, that's where a lot of the playlist videos come into play. So especially that one that Shake linked to, the How to Become a Bartender playlist. That's a pretty important one. I talk about a lot of that stuff in detail. Okay, so I know that was a really long answer to little Missy, who said she was 18, or no. Oh yeah, Argo, 18. And then underneath that, Fuzzy Otternut. Does that say Fuzzy Otternut? That's awesome. I like that name. I just turned 21 today. What do you recommend for a first drink? That's up to you, Fuzzy. What do you normally drink? Or what have you 21. You've been drinking for years, most likely. Whatever you normally drink. Don't go in and order some weird whiz-bang thing that you think would be cool. Order something close to what you normally drink. Do you like rum? Do you like vodka? Do you like gin? Stick within those, or just get a beer, Dink. Shake says whiskey Coke. Classic Cape Cod. Cuba Libre. Cuba Libre. Say it right, bro. Come on. Who knows? Get a Shirley Temple. Fucking fanger. This guy. Funniest guy in the show. What's up, buddy? What up, everyone? Late getting. How's everyone? Says the fanger in the house, ladies and gentlemen. All right, let me go back up here because I was rambling on. When I ramble on, the questions stack up and I miss them. If you're on watching, whatever question you post, I will get to it. So hang tight. For the most part, unless Shake, my moderator, can answer it with some link to a video. But if it's an appropriate or a question that is worth answering for everybody, then I will definitely get to it. Which I think all the questions I get to. So hang tight. I know there's a couple questions that are flying in down there. All right, where are we at? Okay, good. Sorry, just making sure I'm not missing any questions here because they come in and they jump. I'm sure you guys get the same thing from your side. Okay. Young, wild, and free. That's right, Shake. Stoked. Right. Customer service is key. Yeah, Alicia Ruiz. Singles a Pringle. If we are in a restaurant service industry, a good start as well. If we are in the restaurant service industry, a good start as well. Yeah, single is a Pringle. Little Pringles. Restaurant, bar, same. It's all the same industry. Service industry is restaurants, bars, nightclubs. It's all the same. I mean, the nightclubs, they would probably classify themselves as something different. That's like entertainment more. But there's this service industry element in it because you're like serving customers and, you know. All right. Alicia Ruiz, I've been working on surf shops since I was 15 years old, so I'm pretty good at public service. There you go, buddy. Nice. Yeah, any sort of customer service interactions that you can do before this line of work will help you out a lot, for sure. And yep, there's a good link that Shake put up about how to pour alcohol. So just the basics of getting started, just the super fundamentals, how to pour and pour count. A couple of that basic list of drinks that I put up earlier. That's a good start, right? Charlie Brownson, right on. Been watching your videos on how much bartenders make. I'm thinking bartending pay for tuition. What do you think? That's how I first got into bartending, Charlie. I was looking for a gig that was, I mean, it kind of fell in my lap, you know, but I was thinking about the service industry and trying to get into it because of the fact that this is when I first started going back to school 15 years ago and needed a gig that I could do off of school times and could do it at night and hopefully make as much as a full-time living working part-time as possible for someone who was in their early 20s and no professional experience and no education, right? So you got like basically the service industry or construction are kind of the roads that you can split, or like, of course you can go into like, I guess there's a whole bunch of shit. You can go into like corporate, you can go into sales, and anyway, the main ones I was looking at was kind of like sales, which I didn't really want to do, construction, or like service industry. And so went into the service industry, and that's great for school. The other ones are kind of tough because they're, you know, sales gigs or financial services gigs, you know, like where you sell insurance and shit. Construction, I already said that. Those are all like during the day, hard to do when you're going to school. Service industry stuff, pretty easy to do at night, you know, especially if you tell them up front, like, hey, I'm going to school, you know, I can work days on the weekends, but generally during the week I can't work until like, you know, 3 or 4 or whatever. So, or a couple nights a week is fine too. Like I did that through most of my school career. Like I'd be available, you know, you can try to stack your classes on 2 days, like Tuesday, Thursday, or Monday, Wednesday, or something like that. And then you can just tell them that you're not available those days, because you're rarely going to get more than 5 days a week, 4 days a week, 5 days a week in an establishment. So they usually can, you know, you just tell them like stick all your classes on those 2 days. And they usually work with you pretty well. All right. Okay. Okay, sure, his temple. Finger. The rage juice. Fuzzy otter nut. I never drank before, but want something classic like a single malt scotch. Fuzzy nut. Fuzzy otter nut. That's got to be the best name of the night for sure that I haven't seen. So, if you've never drank before, you're probably not gonna like scotch, unless you get a really nice one, and that's gonna be really expensive, and then you're not gonna even really like it that much anyway. So, if you've never, I'm trying to look at your picture. Sorry if this is a weird question, but are you a guy or a girl? Do you like kind of sweet stuff? You know, as like a girl, I'm thinking like Cosmo or something. Cosmopolitan, or if you're a dude, you could try a classic like an old fashioned is one of my favorites. But trying to think, what's another one that would be kind of cool? I know I'm way behind on the questions here, you guys. I'll get to you. Long Island, yeah, that's a good call. Just good old Long Island. So, Cosmopolitan if you're a girl. I'm a guy. There you go. All right. Sorry, Fuzzy Nut. I should have known. Fuzzy Otter Nut. You never know on here. You never know, and I can't see. It's hard to tell what your picture is. So, yeah, go Long Island, buddy. Or if you really want to get freaky, the blue motorcycle, or what do they call them out here, or out east. Sorry, I'm looking at all these comments here. And adios. Sorry, lost my train of thought there. Adios, motherfucker. If you're around West Coast, they call those blue motorcycles on the East Coast, I believe. Tokyo Tea. Any of the teas would be a good one. So Shake said tea. Tokyo Tea. Edwina Pauline. I'm watching from Kenya. Our laws are totally different from yours, but by just watching your videos, I learned a lot. Actually got a job. Yeah, buddy. Took notes. Nice. Edwina. Sorry if I'm saying your name wrong. I apologize. Edwina. Nice. Edwina? Edwina? I'm sorry. Sorry I'm butchering your name. Right on. Take notes. Kicking ass. Getting out there and making it happen. I'm proud of you. I love music. Not a fan of the drink suggestions, I'm assuming. Brad Theriot. Brad the Riot. So I like playing this game of trying to guess what your names are. How to maximize the women you pick up while bartending. It's easy, buddy. I have a drink. I have a video about that, actually. Maybe Shake can find it. It's way down on it's somewhere in the, I think, working bartender playlist. Hooking up with, I think it's called Hooking Up with Coworkers and Customers. So that'll be a video you might appreciate, Brad. It's a few years old, but it's still extremely relevant. Blue motorcycle, or sometimes known as electric iced tea as well. Thanks, Fanger. So those are all kind of the same drink for you there, Fuzzy Otter Nut. Get the rage juice. Usually, Brad, maximize the women you pick up in the bartending. You don't have to try a whole lot, but you gotta be a little more. Yeah, you'll. I'll just let you figure it out. Get in there. There you go. Check out that video that Shake just linked for you. It's a little bit. I got some heat on that one. Some people didn't like that video, but don't kill the messenger. It's just the reality of the industry. Angels Envy Manhattan. Let's see. Where are we at here? I feel like I'm missing some stuff. No, we're good. Okay. Parmarita just got a barback job at a brewery bar restaurant. Very competitive as far as people wanting to be bartenders. Who has a better chance, barbacks or servers? Barbacks. It depends really on the establishment and the relationship that the managers have with the staff. But from being on the outside and not knowing anything about your situation or your establishment, Parmarita, I would say barbacks for sure. Yeah, Shake agrees. Basically, apprentice bartenders. Oh wow, I'm way behind on these comments. All right, sorry guys. I'll try to pick up the pace. Singles bring. I just bought a bartending set and practice pouring with pour spouts and the air glugger rubber ends. Yep, there you go. Just start practicing. Andrea Maria finally got a job. My first night ever. Extremely busy. I was nervous, but I didn't let the pressure get to me. I don't know half the drinks, but I would just ask what goes in it and I poured it. There you go. Andrea Maria. That is how you do it, girl. You get in there, you take the fucking training wheels off, and you just fly by the seat of your pants until you figure it out. And the busier it is, the faster you'll figure it out. And that means as soon as you do figure it out, you're going to start making some money. That's awesome. So good job. Cheers to you, girl. That's the whole thing. It's just not being scared. Oh, I totally just got my camera all wet, I think. Sorry, team. Yeah. So good job. Parmarita, I'm guessing I'm just going to get knowledgeable on cocktails, but thinking about bartending school just to get a job faster. Bartending school will not get you a job faster, Parmarita. Maybe, but probably not. And tuition is not a problem since I was in the military. It'll give you and bear with me if you've heard me say this a million times, but bartending school is good to give you confidence because you've kind of done the real thing. But the reality is that the bar managers know that you still don't have any experience, and that nothing can replace experience. Now, this doesn't mean that we expect everybody to have experience, right? Because we all have to start without experience somewhere, somehow. Usually it's by what some of these other people are saying, that they're in other positions. That's the best way to do it, is to start in a different position, letting them know from the beginning, hey, I want to be a bartender someday, kicking ass, being a good bartender, or being a good employee, and biding your time until the opportunity comes along to move up. And if you're a good employee, you will get a chance to move up. You just have to be patient with it. So with a bartending school, it's good because you get the practice. You kind of feel like you're doing it. But again, it's water. It's not real drinks. You can't taste it. You're practicing with your co-school people, because I used to teach at a school for a little while. And if the confidence is worth spending the money, go for it. But don't spend the money because you think it's going to help you get a job, because it won't. It's not going to make a whole lot of difference, and almost zero difference, as opposed to what some of the stuff you could learn on some of my playlists that I have here. Most of the time they focus on all the drinks. And remember, go back up to the comment that I made earlier, that I had a little list of drinks of what you need. Get to know those basics and then get in there and just like Andrea did, just start kicking ass and going for it. And smile and don't worry about it. All right. Bartending school, right? Oh, wait, does it say? Just after I said all that, and she said bartending school is cool, but I can see how I can go without it. Oh yeah, so there you go. So Andrea Maria, validating what I just said. Thank you, girl. Bartending school is cool, but I can see how one can go without it. Thanks for your channel. You helped me stay encouraged. Good on you, girl. Good on you. SO70S, service industry is the best thing I ever did in high school. Moving up the ranks with the company, meeting so many interesting people, and just the networking. That's the other great thing that I never really talk about, is networking opportunities in this industry are almost second to none. You basically have a networking opportunity every single day you go in. You do have a networking opportunity every single day that you go into work. And one of the things coming out of this business program that they talked about over and over and over and over and over and over and over again about how to get a job is to network with people. So being a bartender is one of the best jobs you can have to network. So I know you guys are thinking about getting into bartending, but if you ever get into bartending and realize that you want to do something else, one of your best opportunities to find other opportunities for other jobs is going to be within your people at while you're bartending. So that was kind of a really weird way to say that, but I think you know what I'm saying. All right. Andrea Maria, what's really a Hennessy margarita? I would think it's just a margarita made with Hennessy instead of tequila. Like if somebody said, make me a Hennessy margarita, that's what I would do. People say that sometimes I'll get, make me a vodka margarita, and it's just the same thing, but instead of tequila, I'll make it with vodka. Right? Brad Thoreau, first, I think that's Brad the Riot. First bar drink for chicks, White Russian. I don't know, man. I mean, that's a sweet one, but I'm not sure. Yeah, Long Island. Okay. Andrea Maria, it was hard as a single female to get a job. I was starting to think it was some kind of a secret organization. I even had a manager ask, what would I do for him if he gave me a chance? See, that's the other side. Well, it's not the other side of the coin. I talk about this all the time. The sexist side of this industry is absolutely out of control. I'm still waiting for the Me Too movement to just come in and absolutely annihilate the service industry. I don't know how people aren't famous enough. So that's, you know, it's all the Hollywood stars and all that shit in the politician douchebags that are, they get the most traction. So that's where you hear it right now, but it doesn't mean it's not happening in every single sector that I have seen, and is especially bad in the service industry. So if you're a female that's sensitive to that stuff, and you should be, not saying that you shouldn't, but if you have any sort of past things that would really disturb you, then this is probably not the best industry for you. Now, that doesn't mean that you should ever take shit, and if anybody's ever crossing the line, then you should 100% go to your management as soon as it happens. Don't let it fester. But guaranteed, if you get into this industry, you're going to see it all the time, and you're going to hear it all the time. And exactly like that type of shit, what would you do for him? That's just like, that makes my blood boil. I want to punch that guy in the balls. Because I don't know if it's meant the way that you said it, but the way I'm taking it is like, you know, what are you gonna do for me? Kind of like, yeah, motherfucker. Just an abuse of a situation. Anyway, okay. Fanger saying, I believe Blue Motorcycle trended with Sturgis, but I don't know how accurate that is with the name of the drink. I don't know. It's interesting. So Sturgis, like the big Harley Davidson or biker rally. I don't know if it's just Harleys. Parmarita, how long are bartending schools? Most of them are like 2 weeks, right? Or 30 or 40 hours. They'll do it by hours, so 30 or 40 hours, which they usually break up over a couple of weeks. Eyeballing a mosquito over here. I'm trying to get him to come close so I can get him. Sweet. Chris Lale. How do you personally accept large tips from friends? They put it in your hand, and then you put it in your pocket, or you put it in your tip jar. You just let them give it to you, right? That's what I do. And they're usually doing that because I bought them a round, or I bought them a plate of fucking nachos or something. So, but yeah, I don't know. I'm trying to think. You just do it gracefully. You say thank you, right? You don't have to get all weird about it. You're just like, hey, thanks, man. Appreciate that. Bam, in the tip jar. Nathan N. I wish I had a bar back. My ice machine is a hike for me. Yeah. Every different type of bar layout you can think of. I Love Music 2015. Depending on how many classes in a day or the hours. Oh yeah, you guys are talking about the bartending school. Okay, Pauline. We're in Kenya. Okay, you guys are talking living life with the Lacey, having trouble getting a job in a bar. What are some tips on getting your foot in the door? So living life with Lacey, the best way to get in is to start in other positions. Be willing to start in a different job and then move up into the bartending position. So like I was saying earlier, and remember you guys can go back and watch these. Holy crap, it's already 10 to 9. Time flies when you're having fun. Yeah, starting in other positions is the number one way that you get in when you don't have experience or you're trying to get into an establishment. Even if you do have lots of experience, if it's a place that's really worth it, that you really want to work, get in there any way you can. Scrubbing toilets, being the dishwasher, I don't give a shit. Get in there any way possible, because once you are in there, then you're in, and then it's just a matter of you'll get to know the managers, you'll get to know the owners. You show them that you are a good hard worker and that you're reliable and trustworthy, which is extremely rare in this industry, and you'll get a shot to move up, 100%, guaranteed. So the main tip to getting your foot in the door is just take another job. And if you're not willing to do that and you don't have experience, then it's going to be an extremely difficult road to hoe. And you might come across as entitled if you don't. So just saying, I'm not saying that's you. I'm just saying that I know we've had, there's people that'll come in and they're, even people with experience, they'll come in and they'll just demand a bunch of shit. And it's like, look, man, we have a newer bartender at our establishment that has been a bit over vocal about the shifts they feel they should be getting when they are at the bottom of the food chain in terms of the pecking order, right? Because when you're at the top, you're the A team, right? Totally the A team bartenders, but there's still a level of seniority within those 18 people. Generally, they're going to have slight preference with the management and whatever from time and rapport and all that kind of shit. So be humble, be willing to start in another position, and then get in there and do a good job, and you'll get a chance for sure. Shake says there's a school here in Denver, 2 weeks. Okay, you guys are answering questions about that. All right, hang tight, guys. I'll get to all your questions. I know there's a bunch down here. I'm way behind because I'm talking too much. So hang with me. I'll get to your questions, I promise. Let's see here. Let me try to get through these a little faster. Moises Sandoval, what's up? Nathan and my establishments. My establishment makes me use a jigger, but my pour is on point. Do most places have this type of policy? Really just depends, Nathan. Some do, some don't. Just depends on the establishment. Some might, and then they'll start. Some might have it, and then they'll stop. So actually, it's more common the other way around. Internet's getting laggy. Yep, sorry guys if my interwebs are... Yeah, it says it's okay. So let's see. Maybe it's all good. I don't know. No, that's not the right song. Okay, so where was I here? Okay, Fire X Bomber made it. You. Yeah, buddy. I'm doing these late now, so from 8 to 9 instead of 7 to 8. So I've shifted the time back because it seems to be a little bit better for more people. So it's 8 p.m. Pacific Standard Time is when I'm doing these. Every Tuesday, 8 p.m., you guys. So 8 p.m. West Coast United States time. Pacific Standard Time, if that's easier to look it up that way. Oh, what happened to Noel? Oh, yeah, internet. Okay, gotcha. Love music. I attended school, used real drinks. Oh, that's cool. Nice. I honestly feel like bartending school isn't necessary. Just working around the bar and being a waiter, barback helps a lot. It's all about how much you really want to learn, I guess. Yeah, for sure. I mean, 100%, if you can get a job at an establishment in another position or somewhere in a bar or whatever, even if it's another job, I feel like you're going to learn a lot more about the way an establishment actually runs as opposed to if you went to an actual bartending school. But that's just me personally, because you're dealing with real customers and you get the real feel of the flow of the business. So, Andrea, Maria, bartending school, y'all, it's not what got me the job. I didn't even take the final test. I couldn't memorize. Got my job by messenger, Facebook texting the club. The manager said he loved my personality. Yeah, there you go. So it's all networking and who you know. Love Music 2015. The school I go to, they have job placement. A lot of places depend on them to get bartenders. But do they? They say that. They all say that. Now, you might actually be in a market where that could be true. But come back and tell us in a couple weeks if that was actually the case, because I've heard that same line from every bartending school, and then it turns out to not be the case. But it doesn't mean that that's not true there. So, Brad the Riot. I always act like I know exactly what's in whenever they order, and then I quickly Google it. Actually, don't know. Yeah, you know, I just look up a drink. Pringle. I'm in a job where I'm a busser, and I'm a super good employee at my job, but I feel like they won't allow me to move up because I'm good at my job. No. If that's well, so you have to be a good employee, right? So that's just one part of the equation. The other part of the equation is you need to be the squeaky wheel. The squeaky wheel gets the oil. So that means go as high as you can. So if there's a management level that you can't get through, go to that manager, tell them over and over and over and over that you want to be a bartender. Don't be annoying, but just let them know and make little comments here and there, like, oh, like if so-and-so is late or something, like, oh, hey, you want me to get back in there? I got it, you know, and just have fun with it. But yeah, it's one of those things where you have to let them know, because if you are good, we actually had a busser for the last couple of years that was extremely good, and he never told us that he wanted to move up, and then he just left because he got a job at another establishment as a waiter. And it's like, dude, why didn't you tell us? We would have made you a waiter. You never said that shit. So you need to tell them your intention, and then to constantly try to remind them in a non-annoying time frame, that so that they know that, and they'll start thinking of you in that way. So plant seeds in their mind. Okay. Yeah, Pauline. Never been to a bartending school, but from what I hear, I got to learn right from Bartending 101. Got the bar and seemed like I had experience. If you're really interested, watch the videos. Yep. Edwina got it. She got the job just by watching these videos. Good job, girl. I Love Music 2015. You have to take the final test at the school, do their job placement phase. Yeah, so keep us posted. Agree with you 1,000%. I got 2-year job offers that aren't bartending related in the past year. Yep. Okay. Firebomb goods. It's different from this last school I attended. Recertified now in a different state. Okay, I think Maribel Tolly is getting caught up to the Me Too movement. Yeah. Shall see. I got you, Shake. Watching the time here. We can go a little bit over. It's all good. Get through everybody's questions. Darklight 1482, because I wasn't here last week, so we can always go over. It's all good. Do you have any advice on making multiple drinks in one tin, like making 5 Cosmos in as little tin as possible and still having accurate pours? I don't think you could do 5 Cosmos in one tin unless you had like a 2-gallon tin, but you could probably make 2, maybe 3 in there. But yeah, it's just that you can do, like I do that with shooters all the time, make 4 or 5 shooters at a time, and you just put the same, you just need to make sure that your ratios are consistent for every drink, and then when you pour I'll kind of go, you know, pour, 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 pour. Make sure that it's all even. So yeah, it's just making sure that your ratios are the same and that you put the same amount of everything as if you were doing them individually, just in the tin together. So you're good. Living life with the Lacey. Agreed. I tried to come as a server or waitress. Had a hard time since I don't have much experience, much customer service, but having a hard time marketing to that my advantage. Yeah, you just got to keep pounding the pavement, girl. Just got to keep pounding the pavement. All you guys. Just got to keep going. Don't stop. You'll get something. Love your rambles. There's a lot of knowledge from it. Yep. That's all I do here is I just ramble on and just spews out of my brain. That's why I have you guys prompt me with questions and then I just go at it. Brad the Right says, I'm the only male at my bar and there is a clearly double standard in regards to sexual harassment. Basically, the female employees can do or say whatever they want and I have to take it, but not vice versa. Ah, it's interesting. I know a lot of guys in this industry that would kill to have your position, Brad. But I do know that gets annoying either way. Sexual harassment can go both ways, 100%. 100%. I have literally been... So sexual harassment, at least in California, right, is anything that's said or done that makes anyone uncomfortable. So that can be a joke, that can be a comment, that can be like a brushing of one body part into another, whether you intend it or not. So I've had that shit where it's just like, it's not made me uncomfortable or anything, but it's just fucking annoying. You're like, God damn it, knock it off. You know, so it just gets, it gets old. I know how that is. Okay, we're going to skip the song since it just drags on. Okay. Let's see here. Where are we at? I was talking about Brad and getting harassed at work. Fanger, when it comes to using jiggers where I'm located, depends on what kind of bar you're in. Dive bar, do a free pour, but if you go to a nice restaurant that has a bar in it, they usually use a jigger. Yeah, most of the more of the crafty, especially the real crafty style, everything's jigger. And a lot of that is just due to kind of the roots of bartending, which, you know, more of the mixologist type stuff or true fundamental bartending. If you go to like the real classic kind of high, how do I say this? Basically just the real formal, fundamental, really in-depth trainings at the European bartending schools. It's all jigger based and measurement based, and so it's just kind of the quick and dirty in the modern era is where you don't use jiggers, and that's what I prefer because then it's, like I said, just quick and it's way faster and you can make more money. The establishment makes more money as long as they're not too worried about pour costs, which you can, as long as you have everybody on the same page. Your staff needs to be trained and on the same page of where the drinks need to be poured so that they're not effing up your whole pour cost, because you can lose a lot of money that way. But at the same time, you can look at it as an owner or management can look at that as marketing cost, you know, or promotion cost is the way I would rationalize it within a certain, you know, reason. Don't let it get way out of control. But I know for a fact that one of the reasons that our bar is so popular is because we pour our drinks really good. We are probably the cheapest ish and definitely the best poured drinks in our neighborhood, and that's why we're busy a lot. So Noelle came back. Good to see you again, girl. Every job is political hierarchy. Yeah, so Brad the Right says every job is political hierarchy that you must learn to navigate in order to succeed. How good are you at managing relationships is important. Yeah, so it's all who you know, being the squeaky wheel, learning who is the decision maker, getting on their good side. Don't be a brown noser, you know, don't be some fake person. Be who you are. but you need to understand who makes the decisions and let them know that what your intentions are for sure. Fanger says, have you heard the trick when making a mixed drink? If you pour a few drops of the alcohol through the straw, and people will think that there's more alcohol in it, even though it's the same amount. Yes, Fanger, I do that trick all the time. Like when people send drinks back. This is a video that I'm gonna publish pretty soon. Is that when you we pour, like I was just saying, we pour our drinks strong, right? Really good. Our drinks in Utah would easily be doubles. Easily. So, when somebody sends a drink back, number one, I just know they have a huge drinking problem, because if they're sending our drinks back, it's like, I can't pour the triples that you pour yourself at home just by ordering a single drink, right? It's like, sorry, I just, we can't do that. And some people, that's what they're used to. They're used to just drinking triples or quads that they make at home, and they go out and they're like, this sucks. It's like, you just drink too much, man. But that is an easy trick. Instead of throwing a drink out and remaking it or whatever, what you can do is you can take the drink, right? You just take the straw and you just pour a little bit of alcohol right down the straw. And you don't mix it up or anything. You just pour it right down the straw, and then you give it back to the server. Or maybe if it's got like if it's a margarita or something, you resalt, pour it into a fresh glass, and then put the straw, and then do the liquor in the straw trick. Because then and tell the server, don't mix it up, just give it to them like that. Then they'll take it, and usually what they do is the first thing you do is take a sip, wham! They get a huge hit of liquor, and they're like, whoa, okay, there it is, it's good. And then even after that, even though the drink will basically be the same as it was before, they got that one hit, and so they feel like they are getting their money's worth. So, because that's always the problem when people send drinks back, they aren't strong enough. They're like, I'm not getting my money's worth. I want me. I get it. If you're paying 10, 12, 15 bucks for a cocktail, you want a decent pour. Okay. I love music. 2015 said sexual harassment in this type of field is ridiculous. But as you said, it happens all the time. It is. Yep. Both sexual harassment, domestic violence can be an issue for both genders. Luckily, I haven't dealt with a whole lot of domestic violence, but domestic violence just goes hand in hand with alcohol. I have a couple friends that are cops, and they said that the number one common factor in every domestic violence or most crimes that they're dealing with, the number one factor is alcohol. So unfortunately that tends to go hand in hand. John Smith, stream is freezing every few seconds for a second each time for me. Sorry guys. My stream says it's all good. So I try to do the best I can down here. I'm a victim to my circumstance. Since it's streaming okay from my side, you can always go back and rewatch these once they post, and they should have, the full, it should be a better resolution for you. So if it's kind of glitchy, then just go back and rewatch this after this post later. Let's see, Noelle, Miss Smith, she says, we have a staffer named Paige, and whenever we are discussing something as a team, we always place a hand on her so we get on the same page. Was that a joke? Was that a joke? Or is that a joke at work? That's pretty funny. I work at a LGTB club. We just free pour, like you mentioned earlier. I took what I could the first time I ever went to serve beer outside, and from that night, I got a call to work on Friday nights. Good job, girl. You're in there. Way to go. Fanger's got a joke. Do you know how farmers party? They turn up the beats. Bam! Joke of the day from Mosh and Fanger, everybody. Okay, I got you, Noel. Sorry, I'm a little slow on the uptake. Slow on the uptake. A little bit. Sometimes it looks gray, but really there's some blonde. A little blonde moment every once in a while. Ew! Jay Charm, new member. Right on. Welcome to the Bar Life Club. Corey Buck, thank you. You're welcome. thank you for being a watcher, viewer, supporter. Dimas, how do you avoid overeating, especially during late night shifts or undereating? Usually it's a problem of undereating, especially if you work in a busy establishment. First of all, because most of the time you're not usually allowed to just eat. A lot of times you can take a little break and eat, but it is not uncommon for the establishment to have the rule that you can't eat while you're on the job. So my answer for that is usually just I have like little kind bars, you know, a granola bar or power bar of your preference. You just have it in your purse or your pocket or something. And that way you can, if nothing else, you can go in and take a bathroom break, open that thing up and smash half of it in your mouth. And then at least you're running on something. If you need to, you could go back an hour later and do another pee break and smash the other half, right? So those are tricks of the trade. Luckily, I work at a place where it's that type of stuff is pretty loose as long as it's not super busy. Like that is as long as we're not ordering our food when the kitchen is really busy, then management's fine with us eating, you know, and as long as nobody's being neglected at the bar or at the tables or something. But it's just one of those things that's kind of a case by case basis at the establishments that you work at. Right. Okay, where are we at? Oh, eating, Dimas. Okay, and then Andrea Maria found your video on the order of taking orders. Like I should be working from one end of the bar and the other end. Just so many damn people. Are you talking about the one from busy Friday, Saturday nights, Andrea? If it's huge and that's not an option for you, the other thing you can do is just be in one place and make them come to you. But it's hard to know without seeing your bar. But if you're going to be moving up and down the bar, if you don't have a system like that, what'll happen is there'll be people on the ends or people in certain areas that'll get completely missed. So that's why I have, you know, the typewriter technique where I'll go from one end all the way down and then all the way back to the top. And that way I know that I'm getting everybody. But if you're going to just serve people in one place, then just serve them in one place. But if you're going to move around, then try to cover, you know, a whole section of a bar or the whole bar or whatever. Sometimes people will just come to you. But you just want to make sure that if you're moving around, you get everybody. Lana T, good evening. I'm doing well, thank you. Hope you are well. J Charm, just started watching. What was the topic we were talking about? Bartending. Always bartending. Just kind of random questions, Jay. You throw out whatever you're curious about, and I will answer it for you on the spot. And speaking of that, by the way, we're a quarter past, so starting to wind down here. I'm going to give the last call for questions. So if you got any more questions that you want me to answer, throw them up now or never. Otherwise, you got to wait till next week. Okay. Cheers, everyone. Noel says, how do you get a baby astronaut to sleep? You rock it. Bam! You guys are killing it with the question or with the jokes tonight. All right, Fanger says, when it comes to eating better, I would say make sure that you eat more healthy foods. That way, you're not tempted to eat junk food because you are full and you'll be less likely to binge on junk. It's great advice. Now, in the moment when you're starving and you're busy, it's really hard to follow sometimes. I know. I say all the time that if it wasn't for my job, my diet would be pretty much immaculate. And for the most part. Because most of my poor decisions on food are made at work. And I try to bring my little kind bars or whatever the fuck bars or even bring food with me. But sometimes it's just so easy. Like if something gets messed up and it's just sitting back there, like an order gets screwed up and you walk around the corner and you just grab a nacho or a chicken wing or whatever the fuck. And it makes it easy, especially if you're in a hurry. you know, quesadillas, when we get quesadillas all the time, like, it's terrible for you, but they're delicious, and they're so easy to just grab a wedge and smash it in your face, and then you're good to go. So it's hard. It's hard to not eat terribly unless, you know, you work at a place that only has really good food. But there aren't too many of those types of bars around. J Tarn, blah, 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 blah. Where do you bartend at? I'm in Chico, California. Way down in San Diego, buddy. Give me a call if you ever get down this way. Dimas. Always have drunk chicks and super drunk trying to flirt with me. And dudes super drunk trying to flirt with me. How do I turn them down? Also insisting on buying me drinks. However, we are not allowed to drink at work. How do I turn them down? So that's a tricky one, right? So the easiest thing to do is just say, sorry, I can't have any drinks. That's our policy. Thanks, but no thanks, right? You can always do that one. And just, if you're a cute chick, then that's just part of the deal. Or a good looking guy, that's just going to be a part of the deal. Or anybody, you know, even if you don't really think you're that cute or that good looking, you're still going to, you know, you're going to be around enough people that people are going to think you're cute, and they're going to try to hit on you and stuff. So the other thing, I know a lot of people that wear fake rings when they go to work. Is a great one. Although that kind of opens up the door for a whole other type of weirdo that wants to try to hit on you. But you know, you can wear a ring and it's like, sorry, married, or put a fake engagement ring on there. Now you might be worried, like, oh well, but what if a guy comes in that I actually really want to talk to, and they're gonna go like, I promise this isn't real. So, you know, up to you. But generally, you just say, you know, I don't think my boyfriend would appreciate that question, or me giving you my phone number or something like that, right? I don't think my boyfriend would appreciate me going out after to have a drink with you. Whether or not you have a boyfriend, they don't know. But you can say that. And if they get too out of control, then you can tell the manager or the bouncer or somebody to tell them that they got to go. So don't ever forget that you always have the last card to tell them to beat it. And if you go to your owners or managers and tell them that you're being harassed and they're not taking care of it, then you need to fucking leave that establishment, because it's unhealthy and they don't care enough about taking care of the employees. But if they're smart, they should immediately or definitely give you an option to deal with that, to take care of that. All right, so let's see. Last call for alcohol questions. Yeah, Nirima, thank you. Stoked to see you. Noel, I personally look up new puns every few days because our boss hates them. So we always make sure we give him a new pun each day. Awesome. Well, thank you for sharing those, Noel. I love those goofy types of jokes. Lana T. Okay, so any advice? I'm used to fast pour spouts, but my bar uses medium and I can't seem to get it because my mind still does fast pour. How to know to count an ounce? So you just gotta go back to the basics, girl. Take an empty bottle, put some water in it, get a shot glass that you know the measurements of, or a jigger or something, and then just pour the damn thing and count it and reset your count. And just do that a few times until you reset your count. Like, my count will change depending on because I can tell, like, we have 1, 2, 3, 4 different types of pour spouts in our bar, because it's just a fucking chaotic mess back there, which is fun as hell, but stressful sometimes. But, and you know, I can, just by the speed of the liquor coming out, I can adjust my pour because I'm used to those different pour spouts. So you just gotta practice it a couple times. You know, if you've already had a count down before, it shouldn't be too hard for you to kind of readjust. And you know, that's one thing. And you can also do the old ice in the glass trick and just know where to pour to, and don't even have to worry about counting. But if you're making stuff into tins all the time, then obviously that's not going to work. So just practicing in some empties with some glass, with some water, and you'll be good to go. 2 types of counts at once, since side gigs use fast pour spouts. Yeah, you'll get used to it. Like I said, I got four four different, at least 3 to 4 different pour spouts in my bar all at the same time, all the time. You know, and sometimes, like if I'm making a margarita, right, and it's just tequila and triple sec, if I have a fast, a speed pourer on my tequila and a really slow one on my triple sec, when I would normally go 1, 2, you know, and stop on this one and keep pouring the tequila, I'll just kind of keep that going almost at the same. So you'll figure it out. You just gotta feel it out. Feel it out. Fanger, your healthiest, safety, your health, safety, even mental, is more important than any bar job in my opinion, but hopefully management will be able to help you out. Yeah. So don't take shit, girls. Don't deal with it. It's not worth it. Jeff Pettigrew. If 2 vegans argue, is it still called a beef? Yeah, there's another one. Burn all the pictures. Any tips for bouncers to help out the bartenders? There's a new question I haven't had. I would think being within earshot so that if any shit goes down, they can yell or whistle and you'll come running. That's pretty much it. I don't know if you help them like toss people out when they get cut off. I mean, generally that's kind of like what the bouncers do, but helping them so that they don't have to have too much of any sort of a physical interaction, but too much of a kind of a hostile interaction. If you can absorb some of that, you know, maybe I'm just trying to think, like maybe you could offer to just toss people out if they're cut off, but I think the bartender would want to tell them that beforehand, other than you just going up and grabbing them. That might not be a good idea, but ask your bartenders. That's what I would do. Go to your bartenders and say, how can I help you? What can I do to make my services better for you? And just go ask them, and they'll tell you, I'm sure. It might just be, don't let this dude in. It could be, I don't know, you know, go ask them. It could be anything. All right. Coming down, last few questions here. Only question I got at this point is, why are you not drinking that JMO in the back? J Charm, this one over here. Woo! Cheers. Because I don't really drink hard stuff anymore, man. I've done this for way too long now, and the hard stuff just kills me. Like, I basically just drink beers for cruise control. It keeps me out of trouble. Because when you know how to make delicious drinks, the drinks are really delicious, and you drink them fast, and then you get hammered, like me. So I don't really drink a lot of the hard stuff anymore, I guess. Doesn't mean I don't appreciate it. Oh, I've heard that one, Noel. What do you call a cow with no legs? Ground beef. What do you call a cow with 2 legs? Lean beef. Hey, or it could be 3 legs. Let's see here. Vice, favorite gin. Hendrix. Not a big gin drinker, but I would say Hendrix. Lana T, welcome girl. Brad the Riot says, Demas, Coke or crystal meth helps with the overeating at work. It also helps with the energy and speed. He's kind of joking, but he's kind of not joking. Drugs are fucking rampant in this goddamn industry, unfortunately. Andrea Maria, what king of Jack is that behind you? Oh, Jack, single barrel. Right? Is this the one you're looking at? The single barrel. Select the good stuff, man. So they just age it in one single brand new barrel. All right. So you guys are going to keep throwing these out here. I realize I might just going to have to cut you guys off at a certain point here. Fanger says a good bouncer should be observing around and should be able to catch something before it happens, and if that makes sense. So for example, if you see a drunk guy who's bothering a bunch of customers. Yeah, so interject before the bartender has to tell you. That's good. That's a good point too. Christian Falcon caught a guy slipping a roofie in a girl's drink at the bar once. Guy got tossed and then arrested. Bouncers just held him down. Yeah, that type of shit. That's where the shady fucks and the fucking drug addicts and just derelict losers. Unfortunately, that's just a big part of this industry, and you're around that all the time. Talk to the guy before a fight breaks out. Yeah. Jameson is strong as hell. Will Smith, what do the cops say to the spaghetti? You're an impasta. Already got a clash here. M18, anything you should know starting? Argyle, wait. Didn't we already talk about that, Argyle? Does the RAMP certification help with employers? RAMP is a specific certification that I am not familiar with, so that's something that's to your specific state, because I have not heard of that in California. And if I have, then I'm out of touch because we don't have it at our bar. Rather right. With some of the basic stuff you suggest owners do to increase customer traffic. Drink deals. Good food, cheap drinks, strong drinks. As much attractive people. See, that's what I'm saying. That's sexist shit. But it's true. Good looking employees bring people in on their own. So good drinks, good people, good food at a good price. And you can't go wrong. Location is huge too. So that's a big thing. Run deals, you got to know your local demographic. Are you a big college? Like host what's your do a market analysis. What are the people around you? Do promotions that target them. It's fundamental business stuff you just got to do to understand your clientele in the area that you're in and the market that you're operating within. And then you can figure out, you can back in, hire a marketing person or something, but you can back into figuring out how to do a promotion that will cast a broadest net to the most people and be the most appealing. But generally the deals are what bring people in. So figure out the type of person, where they're at, do a deal for them, bring them in. Okay, J Charm. Why don't hipsters swim in rivers? Because it's part of the mainstream. Oh, I like that one. What are you going to school for recently? Oh, I finished my degree in business administration. Yeah, business degree. Burn all the pictures. That makes sense. It's a small club. Only had to work one guy in the last 8 months. Gave me $80. Not bad. Nice. Responsible alcohol management program. Yeah, so in California they call it ABC, alcohol beverage control. And it's just alcohol. Yeah, Texas it's TABC. Same thing. So every state has their own version of alcohol beverage control. And that's generally also the agency that issues the liquor licenses. And some knowledge on how to make shit I learned here at the job. Just wrote stuff down and memorized it. Interview process was make something good while telling an interesting story. Ah, I like that. I'm going to try that next time. Cool. All right, guys, we're going to cut it off there because we're almost at half an hour over. And Shake is probably looking at his watch like, come on, man, let's get this thing over with. So make sure if you guys are new viewers that you subscribe so that you get notifications anytime I have new videos coming out. Anytime I have a live stream, you'll get notified. Make sure you turn your little notifications on, the little bell. Make sure you hit the little thumbs up thing because that way you're helping me get more traction out there because it's all an algorithm with YouTube and shit. So make sure to follow me on all the social stuff. So like Instagram, Facebook here, Twitter is all at BartendingPro. So go check that stuff out. These live streams I'm doing currently every Tuesday, 8 p.m. That's Pacific Standard West Coast United States time, 8 p.m. to 9 p.m. Went over on this one by a bit because wasn't here last week. But usually we do these for about an hour. And there's links that Shake is putting to all this stuff. Yeah, make sure you hit the bell when you subscribe on YouTube, and that just makes sure that your notifications are on. If you want to support more directly, you can become a Patreon of mine. So you can go to patreon.com/bartendingpro. But I know that's kind of a tall ask for a lot of you guys. You can also go to the bartendingblueprint.com website, bartendingblueprint.com. and that is a formal training. So it's basically a lot of these videos formatted into laid out into a way that kind of walks you through the basics of learning the basics, learning some drinks, learning how to go out and look for a job, and then closing the deal. And reformatting that so that I can have a certification of some sort. Because I know, you know, bartending schools, hey, certified, some bars, they're like, yeah, whatever, bartending school. But sometimes they do like to see that you've had some sort of formal training. So I'm going to make a little certification that says you've done a professional training of some sort. So anyway, those are the ways that you can support. I appreciate you guys coming out, watching, supporting, being subscribers and viewers. Yeah, I think that's it. So make sure you turn in next Tuesday, 8 p.m. Pacific Standard West Coast time, and we'll do it again. All right, you guys? And be on the lookout for some new videos maybe coming out this next week, like the regular, not the live streams, like full fancy made, shot, edited, whiz bang, snazzy production stuff, traditional YouTube videos. Cool, you guys. I appreciate you coming out. Love y'all. And let's see, did I miss any of these? Oh, they got a bunch of you guys are still still got some questions coming up. I'll get to them next week, you guys. Come hang out same time next week. All right? Have a good week. Get out there. Start kicking some ass. Go pound the pavement. Come back. I want to hear about you guys getting more jobs next week. Good job on everyone who's got their new jobs so far. Keep up the good work. Stoked to hear you guys are doing so well. Thanks, Brad. Later, buddy.